Okay, this is going to be a bit of a more open-ended video with a little bit less editing, as well, it's more of an open discussion, and I'm not very, I don't really care for editing right now. It's not worth it, because people don't watch my videos anyways. So this video is going to be about, how pros play Viper on Split, and how that I would recommend that you go about doing that yourself. Now, obviously, I would never pick Split. I would never pick Viper by itself as a solo controller, and I think it relies on some really good teammates for Viper to um, be used at maximum efficiency. So, what are we talking about there? So, teammates, for example, Astra. Um, Viper is gonna have a really hard time smoking these common angles. Especially when she has to do just like these crazy lineups just to get basic smokes down. So you're definitely gonna want an Astra. You could also bring an Omen or even a Brimstone. I definitely wouldn't bring double. I wouldn't bring the Swamp Comp because I really don't think it's good here. Harbor also kind of struggles in that regard too. And just especially having an Astra gives you global utility, and then you can set up for some insane defaults. Especially when it comes to smoking mid, it's quite literally impossible for Viper to do so um, without giving up too much map control or being a reasonable amount of smokes. Because then
Toxins going up.
yes, you can smoke up to here, but then what do you do with this? Right, then you smoke this,
Boys toxin screen down.
but then you're just committing a lot of smokes, and it's just
Poison's off.
So I definitely recommend bringing a
Not
primary
recharged
controller, a traditional controller. Especially Astra, with how well she pairs with Viper. Second one you're going to want to bring, I see people missing out on this, is if you're going to bring a Viper, you definitely are also going to want to bring a Skye. And that also goes for the enemy team if they bring a Viper, because Skye is one of Viper's best teammates, but also one of her biggest counters, because if she can use the wall against Viper to flash through, Viper can flash through her own wall, or the teammate Skye can also flash for the Viper through the Viper wall, and Viper's orb. Another counter is, of course, finding that Viper in a Viper's pit. You can use Seekers. Guiding Light can be a good of an indicator. So can Trailblazer as well, of course. And we all know that um, the Skye's heal also, of course, counters molly damage. Um, Obviously, when you're out of the molly. So yeah, that's gonna be the two biggest Skye helps, or two biggest Viper helps, teammates wise. So now we're gonna probably move on into how to actually play the agent, because that's the most important part. So Viper is not gonna be your traditional smoker, obviously. So how are we gonna play Viper? Well, we're gonna probably play her as a more sentinel role. We're gonna play her for more mid control, for more as a substitute for Sage, as her abilities last a lot longer, and over the course of a longer round. And she's also way better. She's probably one of the best agents when it comes to setting up defaults and setting up trick plays and um, denying the attackers information by gathering it yourself, and cutting off flight lanes for long periods of time. So how do we do that? So let's take it on attack, for example. So you're going to want to throw a wall like this. Now what does this wall do? So this wall covers
Toxins going up.
which gives you orb control, and then you can walk up ramps, and then, well, now you also have, if you can take control of ramps, you can also come into vents, and then go through mid, and then you can look for rotation B if they have the least stack A, or you can pop out this wall with a Skye Flash, and come out into back heaven, and then to maybe take A, with two Astra Smokes here. Obviously, this isn't going to be very good if you have just the wall. So what I like to do is I also like to pair it with a Viper Orb. This one in particular is a one-way. So obviously, it's not going to one-way anyone off here. But if you want to throw it at the beginning of the round, or alternatively, you could just throw it here. If you want full coverage, right?
Poison orb
Like
emitting.
this, and then you can walk out like this, and then come out.
Poison's off.
That is something that is really common on this site, and it's used to like deny attackers, like whether you're here or not. One little tip: when throwing this orb, I never throw it immediately. Now, why don't I throw it immediately? Well, because obviously you can be caught off guard here. You're very
Here.
vulnerable to this position, and even if you find a lineup, say back here, the main idea is that it telegraphs your position. If you're here, if you set up this wall, and then you don't, and for a while you've been throwing this orb immediately, and then you, then on a future round you don't throw that orb, it's actually a telegraph to the defending team that you're probably not here, which means that they can rotate faster, or they can rotate even before, like, because they know that you're not here, you're helping your team out on B or mid, right? So I usually throw it a little later, as to not telegraph my position early, or just to save orb. Your orb can really get in like post plant. I'll show you a good example. If it's open plant, you can right click your molly up here. Okay, terminal illness.
Poison orb
That
emitting.
creates a really nice one way. Not as nice as you would think, but it definitely is annoying.
Poison's off.
I'm pretty sure you can actually throw it a little higher. Yeah, you can, but it's a little
Poison
bit more
orb
specific.
emitting.
But yeah, so like this one way it's just impossible to defuse from because they're just gonna spam you out. You're
Poison's
not
off.
gonna have a fun time defusing that spike. You can also just use it in like here. Let's say you come mid to B.
Poison orb emitting.
The smoke, right? There's
Poison's
obviously, I'm just giving examples, but there are many other reasons you would want to use your orb that you won't really use for your wall as much. So that's just one thing, is I wouldn't throw this immediately. So how do we approach this? How do we approach getting up to ramps? First thing I like to do is hide from any incoming utility. So sometimes what a raise will do is I'll throw a boombot. I've seen a lot of skies just flash it over a main. So I'm usually going to be down here hiding from any utility that comes my way, just to deny the attackers any audio cues that I might be here.
Poison orb emitting.
You're going to want to cross in through here, right? As to not get exposed by a
Poison's off.
here, and then slowly clear, and then once you get your fuel back, you can start
Poison orb emitting.
like this,
Toxins going up.
wall, and
Toxin screen down.
now obviously that was really impatient of me, so yeah, you're gonna want to wait for your fuel. You don't even need orb here.
Toxins
If you
going
wanna
up.
just cross here, you can just cross without your orb. Cross here.
Toxin
Wait
screen
for
down.
your fuel to come back, and then you pop both, and then you can walk up into
Here.
your smoke, and then you go from here, right, and then or you can just and then you creep up into here,
Poison orb emitting.
and then clear from here, and then you
Not enough
wall up.
fuel.
And then
Poison's off.
if you really want, if you want to wait for your fuel.
Not enough fuel.
Obviously, I don't have fuel right now because they nerfed it.
Toxins going up.
And you can wall, and then you can cross.
Here. Toxin screen down.
Now, obviously, I'd wait for fuel a little bit longer, but that's just how I'm gonna show you.
Not recharged yet.
Even though the wall is down,
Not recharged yet.
you get the idea. That's pretty much it for like attacking A. That's like your most basic thing is that wall. It's really good for defaults. Other thing I would like to point out is this ult.
Don't get in my way.
I don't think I did that right. Yeah, I didn't. So
My ultimate is ready.
it's gone wrong.
Don't get in my
Pick up
way.
this wheel. Yeah, so what you would do is you would probably plant here. And then what you can create is, oh, I did this wrong.
My ultimate is ready.
I forgot how to do this ult, so you guys are gonna have to bear in mind with me.
Don't get in my way.
here, and then this guy can't cross through maps, so he has to. So you can wrap around here, get a full wrap. Obviously I did that part wrong, so. And then you can also just hide in screens if you really need. And then you can also hide an elbow, you get all this space, and then you get all this space too. Right, so it's really good. It kind of like defeats the purpose of a main flank. Having player has to come out eventually. So
My ultimate is ready.
that's just one thing I would like pointing out because it's a really good ult. Obviously I haven't optimized it. I forgot. There's a better placement of it.
Don't get in my way. My ultimate is ready.
Screens, but that's not for me to find right now. But you get the idea. It's still a good ult, what I just showed you. You're usually gonna place it like around an elbow. For mollies, I'm winging them right now because I don't really use mollies anymore. I don't really use lineups. I don't think they're very good, but I think this is one of them for default. It can be good to like support your attack if you think someone's gonna push out of there, like a sky flash. You can also throw one for maps. Obviously, again, I'm winging this one. That one is just aiming it here, right at like the top of the building, and then this one is a little higher. Hopefully these land first try, so I don't look like a moron. I might just be the best player in the game. Wow. There's not really a good way to molly that efficiently. Yes, you can molly back like this. Take this and then please work. This will be really embarrassing if it doesn't. Okay, well, that was just the same molly that I showed you guys already. We'll say like this. Please land an elbow. It's obviously it's really niche. You're not really gonna use an elbow molly, but it is nice for a sight player because obviously they can't escape. Is there one for hell? Probably. I could probably get one in hell. When would I ever use this one? I don't know. It's really niche and it doesn't do much ever. Well, I'm an idiot, but I would never even line it up. I would just throw them all in like this. Okay. No one's gonna be standing here. If they are, you can just you can clear it out. Okay, so you're not really gonna be throwing any util mid. Obviously, yes, you can throw mollies. Okay, you can support your Astra by throwing a molly. This is smoke. This is a bad smoke too. Holy. I'm not very good at this for some reason. Obviously, yes, you can throw molly in here. Support your team. Support your team here. On here. Right, that's gonna clear anyone sitting here. But that's not really. You'll almost never be like starting there out of mid, so this just doesn't matter. For like Viper on attack mid is just one of the worst things ever. It's actually a nightmare. If you've ever tried it in ranked by yourself. Now on to B. I don't like this wall as much. I really like the A wall. You can see that from pros. They all like the A wall too. But this is something. Now what does this wall do? This wall is meant to cut off crossfires is meant to isolate angles and cut off crossfires when this smoke goes down. What it does is it removes this jump peak. You have to like jump peek out of it wide, which can be you can be prone to being shot, especially if you put it deeper than I did, where it cuts off a bigger line. Maybe you have a player here that you have to worry about, but that's not really true. Obviously, since this wall is up, nobody can see you from rafters, so you can pick off someone from triple. You can pick off come here, right, and then you can pick off someone from back if this wall lasted for longer than me. And then you can also, if you really wanted to, I'm sure there's lineups to right here if you really wanted to cut off this too and create an even greater to create more like sight denial. I've seen this from, I forget which team it was. I'm pretty sure it was NRG that did this, and then FNS almost died for no reason.
Toxin screen down.
But yeah, It's really good for cutting off that information because they can't see you from heaven, and it's something that's been a rampant problem in like solo queue because what Sage will do is just wall and then slow, and then your team can't do anything because they don't communicate. So this is gonna be really good. This could be really good for cutting off crossfires. And then you just have to figure out the planting problem, which you can just smoke like normally
Here.
as Astra. So yeah, that's pretty much the setup for B. So, but this the kind of like the basic idea is just to cut off information. You can get a really good lurk into here. Now, I would say I would check out TMV's video about this in the description on why this wall can actually be a detriment to your team, and that will be linked in the description. Um, it can be a bad wall, and he explains that better than I can. Um, so I'll leave that in the description. It also just, yeah, if you throw this combination, it also, you can just grab orb for free. You could even just, but then again, you could just,
Poison orb emitting.
and obviously you wouldn't smoke like
Poison's
this.
off.
If you smoke like this, I'll ban you. In the game, I
Orb
would
emitting.
riot. No, kidding. But you should just molly like this. If you're gonna start the round on B, you can also molly like this, and then it'll stop. It'll like take away control of garage, and then people can't just push out on you, like they do in solo queue, where they just pistol out and just delete you off the server. At least they'll be vulnerable. You might call out some damage, but you'll still be dead because, of course, you are. Now we're gonna move on to defense, which is where Viper shines because she's actually a sentinel disguised as a controller. People might say, "Oh, but she doesn't have flank trips." Well, neither does Deadlock. Neither does Deadlock. So, but Deadlock still counts. No, I don't count her. So we'll start on A. A, you're gonna come here all like this. Why would you well like this?
Toxins going up.
Well, obviously you wouldn't.
Here.
You wouldn't want to give them
Toxin
space in
screen
hell. That
down.
doesn't make any sense. But there's a way. I'll find it. I completely forgot how to do it. I saw King do this like literally 2 minutes ago because I was watching the Sentinels versus Leviathan match where, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, Leviathan kicked out Sentinels. But
Toxins
the
going
idea
up.
is, if you don't like place it poorly like I did, it cuts off main and ramp, which is really good. Obviously, why this is good? Well, cuts off 2 of their choke points, so they can't enter heaven, they can't enter sight. They have to use a lot more utility
screen
to just,
down.
running out. And something that you can't really, because you're not gonna want to waste your Viper, your Astra smokes,
Here.
because of course Astra's gonna be playing on B. You're not really gonna want to waste all of her stars trying to smoke
Here.
this off, so it just makes more sense to wall like this. This is the main wall that you're gonna be seeing on A.
Toxins going up.
Alternatively, if you wanted to just,
screen
if you're
down.
gonna play for A main control rather than play back, you can throw this orb like this.
Poison orb emitting.
I messed it up a little bit.
Poison's off.
Obviously, there's a gap, but I know some of you guys are better than I am. At Viper, you can just throw it normally. But you get the idea. Let's just say I found the lineup for it. I forgot like how to actually place it normally because I don't play Viper on this map as much. But yeah, so you just take aim and control like this. It's a single smoke. It recharges, and you can either grab orb if they're not here, and yeah, you can just hold this crossfire from ramp, from rafters.
Poison's off.
I forget which team it was. I think it was somebody showed me this lineup, but there's actually a really cool one way that you could do on A. Looks like this. Obviously,
Poison orb emitting.
it's not usable from ramps. Like this doesn't do anything for the ramps guy. But if you are solo holding A and you want to still want to get information, but you don't like just holding a smoke, yes, you can put up a one-way here. But for ramps, you're gonna want to stand like up here though, and then maybe swing out if they like try to push you out. But it's not that good. I don't really like it that much because a Razor Jet will just dash pack away past it and won't really do anything. I'm like losing my breath 1 second. Okay, sorry. Um, it's an okay smoke, right? Obviously, it's a one-way. Everyone likes one-ways. Who doesn't? But it's still kind of meh because you can just get dash passed away from it. You can also throw this orb in here. I forget the lineup. I'll be blatantly honest with you guys. I just I don't remember how to do this. It's been
Poison's
so long.
off.
So I'm just gonna show you this,
Poison
right?
orb emitting.
And then, yeah, so you have your smoke here. And then you can shoot it feet.
Poison's off.
I like it like in the middle more.
Poison orb emitting.
So it creates a better one-way. People are just scared to cross it. Is it very good? No, it's not. But if you're gonna stand on this box,
Poison's off.
maybe you can
Not
get some value
recharged
out of
yet.
it. I never use the smoke though. That's why I forgot the lineup. It's just I don't really like it. If you really want to smoke ramp with orb and not wall,
Poison
you
orb
just smoke it
emitting.
normally. Okay, and then you put mollies at it.
Poison's off.
It's not rocket science. Okay. Now for mid. Now for mid, you're actually gonna want to come A. Now why is that? Well, because of this wall.
Toxins going up.
And I messed it
Toxin
up.
screen down.
And we have to restart the entire video. No, I'm kidding. You just have to place it more to the right. Is all. So why is this wall good?
Toxins going up.
Well, first of all, you can combine it with this and create one of the worst things to ever clear out ever. If you guys have ever played versus a good Viper that knows how to do this, those good mollies.
Toxin screen down.
It's one of the most cancerous things in your life if you don't have a good sky. Or just you don't have any info on split because you drafted your pick wrong. So what can Viper do? Well, Viper can safely get into this corner where these smokes. He can safely play in his smoke. He can play here if he really wanted to. I wouldn't recommend this one, but he can also play here. Really common, but I would recommend you spamming this if you ever see this. But that just gives the Viper free info that you're here, what your buy is, all that jazz, right? Obviously you can get skied out, so this is only like a one and done angle for the entire map. Something you would only pull out in like, I don't know, OT when they're all shaky and bad, but still risky. You could also play up here. I've seen some players somehow,
Toxins going up.
depending on how they angled their wall, they get into market,
Toxin
right?
screen
So
down.
if you aim it more to the left, you can actually
Here.
put it here instead. So I'll just demonstrate that right now. You put it on this wall. Idea is
Toxins going up.
come into market, right? And obviously you'd have a better smoke
Here.
combination with that, but it's not really
Toxin
something
screen.
that I would
Not
recommend
recharged
either
yet.
because obviously just need this over aggression, but having this space here is nice because they have to waste so much more utility mid, and that leaves them less for the post plant or even taking heaven or vents into a heaven, so it can be really nice there. Also, you're gonna want to
Don't get in my way.
I messed it up. Like,
My ultimate is ready. Don't get in my way.
gonna be your ult. You can hide here. You can hide here. You can run into the ramps, and what it does is it cuts off this player. So now they have to somehow clear all this out while they got a guy sitting. Maybe they have a guy sitting here, and you're dead. Depending on how the Viper ulted. This is still also kind of bad. You
My
kind of want
ultimate
it
is
in
ready.
between the two.
Don't get in my way.
Maybe not like
My
that.
ultimate is ready. Don't get in my way.
So yeah, this is like the best thing for your buck, I would say. Kind of all you can also, of course, research it, but you don't know where this player is playing. He could be playing in any one of these corners. Obviously he's not. He's going to be playing here, but you don't know that. He could be back here. He could be back here. He could be back fence, right? It's really good ult.
My ultimate is ready.
Okay. Again, I wouldn't really play Viper on B. I don't think it's very good. I've seen this wall sometimes. Again, not a good wall at all. You're giving them space. You're giving, right? Like, yes, the wall's okay, but no, please don't wall like that. Instead, I would recommend putting like a one-way. Okay, maybe if I didn't miss my smokes. Okay, we're just gonna put it up there for demonstrative purposes. Wow, I'm something else.
Poison orb emitting.
Yeah, so again, this is why I don't play
Poison's
Viper here.
off.
You have to put it like there's like an insane lineup. I forget to do it too. But you're just gonna want to place the smoke normally. Okay, let's be honest with ourselves. Just place it normally. You'll be okay. There's not really any like good walls. I'm not gonna lie to you. There is a retake wall that you could do. It's kind of a play on the attack wall. Sorry about that. I did go AFK. It's a play on the attack wall. Um, right. Whereas instead of
Toxins
this
going up.
wall being an advantage to you, you place it like an Astra wall, and you can defuse the spike from here, and then your teammate just holds the crossfire.
Toxin
This.
screen down.
Yeah,
Not
that's like the
recharged
best
yet.
use I think case I could think of this wall being used. Um, Unfortunately, I would not play Viper. Viper is like really good on A. She's really good on mid. Not defensively. Um, Viper is not very good on B. So it's kind of a niche pick. It's why she's like her pick rate is dropping. Obviously, there's more tech that you could do on her. Um, I'm not going to be showing like execute walls because they don't make any sense. Um, and you shouldn't be doing them because that's not your job. Your entire job is to create pressure on a main, and it's kind of being shut down by the rise of Cypher, but it is definitely something that a lot of pro teams should be picking up on. And if you want any like more specifics, I can get in a call with you, and I can talk to your pro team about anything specific that you want from Viper,
Here.
maybe a lineup that you're struggling with. I'm totally free to do that. Any links or messaging in the description, I'm totally fine with that. Please be open to chat. But that's gonna be it for this Viper guide. Um, Again, let's just go over it. You're controlling A, and that's pretty much it. Um, Last one I forgot to throw is this. It's not good. People think it's good because it
Toxins going up.
takes A main to get a retake wall. But
Toxin
now what do you
screen
do?
down.
Yes, I guess you could get close and then flare elbow. So it's a very niche wall, and then you could also take it from here, right? You can play from here and play anti-flash, or even just hold the wall like a normal person, or play up here.
Toxins going up.
Yeah, dude, let's play close. Play close on the wall. Don't get flash. Definitely, yeah,
Toxin
that's a really
screen
good
down.
idea. So that's like a niche one way, like something that's like I used to see a little bit back in like the really olden days. Don't do it. Just throw these two. Okay, throw this wall. Throw this smoke. Yeah, Viper's like really simple. It's just she needs a lot of teammates to work, so it's kind of an only competitive pick. But yeah, again, that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys the next guide or rant video. I don't know. We'll see.